Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't need to, and today we are talking about Palantir Technologies PLTR stock, and we're going to be going over the latest news updates, their price targets, various developments that are happening in the stock market right now, and I'm also going to talk about CrowdStrike and Cloudflare and why I am selling these companies right now just so I can take profits. So this doesn't mean that I don't believe in these companies long term, it just means that the stock price has appreciated enough where now I feel comfortable selling some of these shares so I can take some profits, so I can have a proper risk management. We're also going to go into detail and talk about why Tau Value has sold their Palantir Technology stock completely. We're going to go into detail about how the PLTR stock could continuously move higher based on analysts' revenue predictions and free cash flow targets, which will impact the overall PLTR stock price according to analysts. We're also going to do some stock analysis to determine if the correction and downtrend for Palantir Technologies is over, or if the stock could continue to trend downward after this slight increase. So for more videos like this one, remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment your thoughts down below about Palantir Technologies, and without further ado, let's jump right into today's stories. So first, I want to talk about Palantir Technologies, CrowdStrike, Cloudflare, and a couple other cybersecurity plays because I want to do a follow-up video on one of the videos I posted on the best cybersecurity stocks to buy right now because of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and I said that these stocks were actually going to appreciate very nicely in price, and that's exactly what they did, and now I'm going to take profits on these plays so I can lower my overall risk. So if you didn't know, Palantir Technologies is not inherently a cybersecurity stock, but they are a big data and analytics company that serves both commercial clients as well as government agencies. However, unlike Palantir Technologies, CrowdStrike and Cloudflare are both actually real, full-fledged, full-bred cybersecurity stocks. If you didn't know, Palantir Technologies currently trades for around $13 right now, while the low-end 12-month analyst price prediction is $9. The average price consensus for the next 12 months among analysts is $15 per share, and the high-end, very bullish price target for the company is $25. Right now, around 11 analysts cover Palantir Technologies, with 2 of these analysts saying to buy the stock, 6 of them saying to hold the stock for a long-term hold, which means anywhere from 5 to 10 years from now, and 3 of them actually say to sell the stock and then it's going to underperform the overall market. So going back to my last video on February 26th, I said that the top 3 companies that I would like to buy would be companies like Palo Alto Networks, SentinelOne, CrowdStrike, Palantir, and Cloudflare. So let's see actually how these companies performed and why I am taking profits on these particular plays. Now, this is not to say that these aren't good long-term plays, it just means that I'm taking profits right now to lower my overall risk. So we're going to start off looking at CrowdStrike holding, which has appreciated around 20% since the release of that video. So as you can see, from February 25th until present day, the stock price has appreciated around $36 or a 20.09% increase, which is absolutely phenomenal. The current stock price trades for around $216. The low-end analyst price target is $196, which ideally we would want to get into this company below that price target. The average price consensus among professionals is $265 per share, and the high-end bullish price prediction according to analysts is $350. Around 32 analysts cover the stock, with 30 of these analysts saying to buy the company and 2 of them saying to hold, while none of these analysts actually say to sell. So this stock has appreciated enough where I am now going to take profits on this particular play, and this is just proper risk management. I might jump back into this play at a later date, but right now it has appreciated enough, and even if it continues to appreciate after this, I'm still walking away with really good profits. Next, let's move on to Palo Alto Networks, ticker symbol PANW. So Palo Alto currently trades at around $604 per share. The low-end analyst price prediction for the company is $510, and again, we would always want to get in below the lowest analyst price target because that is the best risk management. The average analyst price target for the company is $621, while the high-end price target for the next 12 months is $700 per share. This company has appreciated since the last video that I made on cybersecurity stocks to buy this company, and it's increased by around 6.2%. front, and we can see that fantastic stock price appreciation here on screen right now. Around 40 analysts cover this company, with 37 of these analysts saying to buy the stock, while 3 of these analysts are saying to hold the company, while none of these analysts said to sell the stock. And just in the past year, the company has appreciated around 88%, which is absolutely phenomenal. Next, let's move on to SentinelOne, ticker symbol S. And this company, very similarly to Palo Alto Networks, has appreciated by around 7.4% from the time that I made this video. So even though the stock is actually downtrending within the last year, I still made a good amount of profits from buying and selling this particular company. So I'm letting you all know that I'm selling out of these companies right now, and I'm taking my profits off of the table. Right now, the company currently trades at around $40 per share, while the low-end analyst price target is $35. The average price consensus among analysts is $48 per share, and the high-end bullish price prediction is $68 for the next 12 months. Right now, around 18 analysts cover the stock, while 15 of these analysts say that the company is a good buying opportunity, and 3 analysts actually say to hold the company, while no analyst that I looked at said to sell the company right now. Lastly, let's look at Cloudflare, ticker symbol NET, and this stock has appreciated at around 8% right now, which again is very good. So I'm practicing good risk management, I'm taking profits, and we will see if I want to jump back into these companies later. Right now, the company currently trades at around $112 per share, while the low-end analyst price target is $100 per share, and the high-end bullish price prediction is $250. Right now, around 25 analysts currently cover the stock, with 13 of these analysts saying to buy the company, 10 of the analysts say to hold the company, and 2 of them actually say to sell the company. Now, out of all of these companies, Cloudflare is one of my least favorite cybersecurity plays, so it really doesn't bother me to get out of this stock right now. However, over the last year, the stock price has appreciated by around 74%, which is really good news. So now let's talk about why I'm actually pulling my money out of these stocks, especially considering that these stocks could still continue to increase, which I believe they can. Due to President Biden's warnings, investors are piling into companies like Palantir, CrowdStrike, and Cloudflare. However, fundamentally, I do disagree with some of these investments unless you want to trade them, or if you're going to invest into them long term. And again, specifically for Palantir, I am not totally selling out of Palantir Technologies, I am just taking a little bit of profit off the table, which is proper risk management. I also want to add that no single company in my portfolio makes up more than 5% of my whole portfolio weight or allocation, and that's just proper risk management. That's what I was taught in business school, and it has saved me from extensive losses multiple times. So let's actually do a quick deep dive into these companies real quick. So Palantir, CrowdStrike, and Cloudflare, none of these companies are profitable right now from a GAAP basis or a generally accepted accounting principles basis. I also want to highlight that Cloudflare isn't even positive for their free cash flows, unlike Palantir and CrowdStrike, which generate around $321 million or $462 million of free cash flow respectively. However, all of these companies have a rather high market capitalization from their free cash flow estimates. However, this determines on what you think these companies could grow into in the long run, because I personally think that some of these companies are actually really good long-term investments, even though I am trading them for the short term, but I'm not entirely liquidating my stakes in these companies. For instance, CrowdStrike has a market cap of around $50 billion, which means it trades at 108 times their free cash flows. Likewise, Palantir Technologies trades at around $24 to $26 billion regarding their market cap, which means that they're trading at around 83.5 times their free cash flows, while Cloudflare has a market cap of around $37 billion, and it doesn't even have free cash flows yet, and none of them are profitable. And I personally would deem Cloudflare as the most risky investment out of these 3 companies. So right now, the cost is too much to justify further investment, which is why I'm taking my money out for the short term. I am not fully liquidating my investment in Palantir specifically, however, I am going to take profits off the table temporarily, even though I do believe these stocks could still appreciate over time. So I just wanted to do an update video from my last video saying to invest into these 3 companies. We made fantastic profits off of every single one of these companies. None of these companies have actually gotten us a loss, except probably Palantir Technologies. So overall, these were very successful trades. So if you did this, congratulations. If you didn't, that's no problem. There is going to be plenty of other opportunity in the market right now. But now I want to focus more on why Tau Value has completely liquidated their Palantir shares. So back in Q4 of 2021, they sent out an investor letter that mentions Palantir Technologies. And it's no surprise because the PLTR stock has fumbled around 30% and declined around 30% in price from the start or the beginning of the year, so it's no wonder why some people would want to sell the company. In their investor letter that they sent out, they said that we have no new position this quarter and have made below changes to our portfolio. We also sold Palantir PLTR as I identified it subject to high retail bubble risk. So they have liquidated their PLTR shares, and even right now today, Palantir stock is falling right now. So it really doesn't surprise me because funds like this, their main objective is to lower overall risk for their investors. And like I've said multiple times, Palantir Technologies is extremely risky and it's for very long-term investors. So if you're not willing to hold it for the long term, it's probably not a good stock for you personally to buy. It probably doesn't align with your investment objectives. However, with that being said, analysts are actually raising their price targets for Palantir Technologies due to the revenue, earnings, and free cash flow forecasts, which is very positive. Analysts project that the company can achieve around a 25% FCF margin this year, which still leaves upside potential for the PLTR stock. Analysts also anticipate that the stock price could appreciate around 13% more in the next 12 months, which gives us an average price target of around $14.19, although I personally think the average price target is closer to $15 in my personal opinion. However, according to this article, they think it's around $14.19, but why is that? So let's do some technical analysis to see if this has any backing. So like I said earlier, the PLTR stock has been downtrending. However, this particular author from investing.com thinks that this big correction is over for Palantir Technologies and that it could start uptrending according to their technical analysis on the stock. They say that they have a minimum price target for Palantir Technologies of $14.71 and that it could even break $16, which would be extremely bullish. However, once it does break $14.71 and or $16, the stock could receive another correction back to around the $13 to $12 range. However, if the PLTR stock falls below their support of around $10.28, it's likely that the PLTR stock could fall below $9 because it would continuously fall. However, how realistic is this? Well, according to the author, it's very unlikely. I personally just want to make Palantirians aware of this potential of further downside in the stock because, again, it's a long-term holding opportunity. Which is why I like this author, which goes into detail of what are the pros and cons of it dropping below $9 per share. The author starts off very bullish and positive by saying that Palantir Technologies has actually appreciated in price around 35% since its low of $9.74, which is really, really good. And right now, the PLTR stock is trading in the low teens or even the pre-teen area, which is fantastic. This is due to increased adoption for its technology by the US and US allies because of geopolitical tensions. And this is the exact same reason why I invested originally into various cybersecurity stocks, because I know as Russia continues to be pressed and geopolitical tensions increase, people are going to run to cybersecurity plays because that is what we need at this particular time. He says that the political turmoil is going to put pressure on growth stocks and it could push Palantir back down to single digits if it doesn't go Palantir's way. Now, he goes back and swings to a more positive view later by reminding us that a Piper Sandler analyst, when he initiated coverage on Palantir, he actually rated Palantir and gave it a price target of $15 per share, which gives us upside. Likewise, a Morgan Stanley analyst raised his price target to $16 per share over the next 12 months, which does make this an attractive buying opportunity for Palantir Technologies if we believe Piper Sandler and Morgan Stanley, which again are very respected institutions. Why I personally am bullish on Palantir Technologies is I've always loved Palantir's commercial segment, and I think that their commercial growth is going to be the bread and butter and the key to Palantir not only achieving profitability, but the overall stock price appreciation and the long-term value for Palantir. Now, despite this, the company is still trading at around 13 times their 2022 revenues and 60 times their forward earnings, which means that technically on these metrics, it is overvalued right now, but I believe that Palantir eventually can grow into this valuation in the next 5 to 10 years. The author also highlights that the recent bullishness in Palantir Technologies that is fueled by the geopolitical tensions of people running to very good stocks such as Palantir Technologies and cybersecurity stocks because of the threat of Russian interference. The author believes that this hype can eventually cool off, and I tend to agree with him. However, I don't think that Palantir is going to fall below $9 per share. However, if it does, that would make Palantir Technologies a very good, attractive buying opportunity because it means that we're paying less for the company and it also makes them closer to the current metrics that they're bringing in financially. However, fundamentally, the company is still overall solid. It just depends how long you want to wait for the stock price to actually appreciate. But with that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next YT video.